Yeah, hey Melissa, the room is pretty lively right now. Now, they said this isn't just a party for Ty Masterson and his campaign, but they're, of course, celebrating all the Republicans, no matter who wins. Now, as you can kind of see up on the board, if Doug Brown can pan to that, it says Ron Estes for U.S. Congress, and that race was just called. The room erupted into applause. Very lively here for that, as many are celebrating that win. We are continuing to track these results. As you said, Ty Masterson is leading, and only 20% of the votes are in. And we will continue to bring you updates throughout the night. Of course, Roger Marshall is also leading, and we are hoping to speak with him once he arrives. We are hoping he arrives in the next 30 minutes. That is all for now. I will send it back to you, Melissa.
Jonah Kahn in Wichita for us. Thanks so much, Jonah. Appreciate that. We also are monitoring the situation for you in the Kansas City area. What we have going on in the Kansas City area is a watch party, several watch parties. This is in the race for governor in the primary where the Democrats, a three-way race. And as we check those numbers at this point in time, Cindy Holscher and Ethan Corson are, for all intents and purposes, in a dead heat. Both are state senators. Cindy Holscher has been watching these results come in from Lenexa. Ethan Corson has a watch party in Prairie Village. Let's take you out live now to Lenexa and the Cindy Holscher watch party. That is where 13's Carson Shea is taking a look at the things tonight. Carson, what's happening there? I apologize. Right now, we're going to have to check some settings that are happening here. We cannot get the audio from Carson's live shot. That is Lieutenant Governor Lynn Rogers, who is there at Cindy Holscher's watch party. So we are going to check in a little bit and see if we can figure out what our technical issue is at the watch party with Cindy Holscher. My apologies for that. But again, that is neck and neck between Cindy Holscher and Ethan Corson. A couple other things that we are following. This is the constitutional amendment that we have going on here right now. And that is the no vote. This is for a constitutional amendment that would have the judges for the Kansas Supreme Court elected, as opposed to the current system, which has the judges so we are going to go back to showing you. Here we go. Okay.
Melissa, this is Benny on the bridge.
Yeah, we are going to have to go. We're on CTV, Denny. So what we're going to do right now, okay, we are going to have to go back to showing you the results. We're going to sort out what our audio problems are here, and we'll continue to watch this and get back to you in a moment. What's going on, Denny?
I just wanted to let you know I hear him loud and clear. So he's sending.
In office for governor since the 60s. So why is it important that this could maybe be the first time in so long?
Well, I think what's interesting is that happened in both Kansas and in New Jersey. And New Jersey bucked that trade. They elected 2 Democrats in a row this last year. So I think it's time for, and again, it was a woman candidate that won in New Jersey. And I think, again, I think people know that Cindy is a moderate voice. And again, when they see the extremism on the Republican side, no matter who that candidate could be, they just don't want to live like that. That's not who ordinary Kansans are. We're fair play. We are appreciative of our neighbor. Those kind of things. So I think that's why Cindy appeals to so many different people. But I think we'll break that this year. It won't be an every other thing because again, they see the Republicans have been in charge for on the legislative side for 20 plus years, and our property taxes are high and. It's a close one. So yeah, I think that'll be it'll be interesting to see, and of course now these are a lot of the early votes, but there'll be a lot of votes still coming in over the next few hours. So.
Are they gonna take us, Rich? I guess we had some this.
We can ask him again.
Let us know.
Everything was fine in the bridge. It wasn't good in CCT.
Okay, do we still have Caden in Lenexa as well? He has been following the watch party in the U.S. Senate race. These are the Democratic candidates, folks. This is with these are the Democratic candidates, including Adam Hamilton, which has been far and wide. We're going to go live to Caden Baird. Caden, what is happening there as we take a look at these numbers?
Thanks, Melissa. I'm in Lenexa at Adam Hamilton's watch party. While the venue's a little small, the vibes and the crowd is not. There's a lot of people behind me, a lot of people behind the camera that you can't see, a lot of people. I'm actually talking to one right now and asking him, why did he choose Adam Hamilton for U.S. Senate? So, you're here. What do you think makes Adam Hamilton so good for Kansas?
I think he's good for Kansas because he listens to people. He really cares about the community. I've known Adam since I was a little kid. I grew up in his church. But more than that, a lot of the work I do in Wyandotte County really takes understanding the issues. And I think the reason I'm here most of all is because I think he can win in November.
Being a part of his church, what do you think that does for him as a pastor and kind of the way he might work in government?
Our state is not blue, it's not red, it's really purple. And you need to be able to give people permission to kind of walk away from their sort of tribal camps and be a part of something that is bigger than that. And I think our country right now, we're hurting financially, we're hurting in our housing, we're hurting with people in property taxes. We need somebody who can cross those divides and not just talk to one party. Adam's doing that. When he got into the race, he thought about being a Republican or a Democrat or independent. I believe he's got the right message and the right demeanor, and he's been doing this work for a long time in his congregation, so he's got the experience, not just speaking to his church, but he was at the Obama inauguration in 2012. He spoke to the whole country, and he's doing that right now on national television, so that's what I am really appreciative of.
What do you hope that he does for Kansans if he does get elected for the primary and then moves on and gets elected in November?
Yeah, so I think what he can do for Kansas is he can return some sanity back to Washington. I think we're so entrenched in fighting that we've lost sight of what really matters, right? We have seniors who are losing their homes, gas prices keep going up, grocery prices are going up. That's the kind of work that I've spent a lot of time working on. I want to see our state do well. I don't want to see us be the #1 state for food pantries in the entire country. And we got to get away from just yelling at each other and start listening. And so I think Adam's done that in his entire career, and I'm looking forward to having a U.S. Senator who actually represents us.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to send it back over to you, Melissa.
Caden, thank you. What we want to do is take you back to Wichita. Republican Party Chairperson Denidre Herbert is talking to the crowd there, and she is talking about the update on this race that perhaps may be having some developments in terms of. Okay, she just left the stage. What we are following here in Wichita at this point in time, folks, is it is a watch party for Ty Masterson. Also there, as you see, the Ron Estes. They've already called this race for Ron Estes. But as we take also in attendance in this particular location this evening is Roger Marshall. That race, he has been declared the winner in the Republican primary as he opts for a second term in the U.S. Senate. And then as we go down to the governor's race, as you just received the push alert from 13 News, they are calling this race for Ty Masterson with 40% of the vote, over 20% for Philip Sarnicki, Vicki Schmidt 17%, 22% of the vote in. This is just kind of a live look at the scene, folks, as we kind of look around at what's happening in Wichita. What I'm going to do is put you back on looking at results this evening, and as we get more of a notice and more of a picture of what's happening there and when Senator Masterson might address the crowd, we will be back here on our desk with you. Welcome back into our WIBW Digital News Center. We are following developments at the watch party in Wichita. Let's take a look at what is going on in the state's 4th congressional district. This is one that encompasses the Wichita area. Ron Estes, the former state treasurer, has been declared the winner in that race as he seeks another term. He is on stage in Wichita live right now.
Support the basic same goals, but we want to pick our favorites, and so sometimes it's cousin against cousin as we go through the primary process. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we make the country better and the state better. I want to thank you in general for selecting me as the nominee for the 4th District of Congress from the Republican Party. It's an honor for me to be able to serve you, and it's an honor to be able to serve in this office, to be part of that. You know, we don't talk about it much, but if you look in the history of the United States, there's only a little over 11,000 people that have ever served in the U.S. House of Representatives. And in Kansas, I think I'm 239th in terms of the people that have been nominated and selected to serve in the House. So it's certainly an honor. And so, you know, as we go through, I have a list here a little bit of, I want to talk about some thanks for people. First of all, I want to thank Ashley and Caroline and Hillard Cozine for letting us use the event. You know, I also want to thank my campaign staff for all the work that they've done to help support me and support the 4th District, including our campaign manager, Alex Oakley, Debbie Looper, Roman Rodriguez, and Ashley Looper. And also this summer we've had some great help. I mean, Amara Garfield helped, and we've had 4 incredible interns, Caleb Crowley, James Eagle, Silas Kelton, and David Wartenberger. So please thank them as well. And I also want to thank my finance team, Dr. Lucinda Rabin, my treasurer, and Deanne and Chris Graham for making sure that we get a positive, pro-growth, limited government message out across the constituents in the 4th District. Yep. And I want to support and thank my staff, both staff here in Wichita as well as the staff in D.C. And some of them are here tonight: Tamara Woods and Lexi Howell, Lillian Miller, Callisti Mandanis, and Pierre Pondre Barek. Please give them a round of applause as well. And of course, if you couldn't tell, thanking Susan and our kids, Brent, Laura, and Grace, for all the support that they've given me. You know, midterms are kind of sold as it's a referendum of the party that's in the White House. And while there's some truth to that, it's also a contrast of 2 visions for the United States of America. I mean, what we've seen in the primary process of country is that one party is focused on America First policies, while the other party is looking at the extreme left and looking at completely turning over the opportunities and the freedoms and the choices that we've had for 250 years. You know, as we move beyond the primaries and unify behind our nominees, we're facing a contrast election, and we can't ignore what's at stake. I mean, the differences between the Republicans and Democrats are pretty strong. I mean, it's kind of a comparison of Kansas common sense versus crazy communist in terms of their ideas. I mean, if you talk about Republicans, you think about Republicans are for having a safe and secure border, making sure that we protect the country and we reduce the crime rate, we reduce the number of deaths from fentanyl and other drugs. If you talk about life, I mean, Republicans are the party that support life from conception to natural death. Republicans are the party that believe in biology, and that we don't believe men should compete against women in women's sports. We're the party of liberty. I mean, we believe in religious freedom. You know, the Democrats have taken God out of their platform, and that's not the party. That's not what we want for our country. And we're going to continue to be a common sense party to focus on how do we make things better for Kansas, make things better for the country. And at the end of the day, Republicans are the party of lower taxes and limited government. I mean, that's the focus that we've had. That's our founding fathers when they started the country 250 years ago. They didn't want government hanging over their shoulder. They didn't want government dictating to them what to do. And they wanted to make sure that they enshrined that these freedoms would be protected by the government, and that's the purpose of having our Constitution, to be able to do that. You know, when you look at some of the pieces of legislation we voted on, Susan mentioned the tax cuts and the working family tax cuts that we passed last year. Every Democrat in the House and the Senate voted to raise your taxes. They voted to slow down our government. The taxes that we had lowered in 2017 that actually jump-started the economy from the years that President Obama said, we just need to accept this new normal of 1% economic growth. And we said, no, that's not good enough. We need to grow the economy. We need to grow the country. And so when President Trump's come in with this office, when this term, you know, he inherited a lot of crap from the last administration. A lot of problems to deal with, whether it's ranging from the border, ranging from some of the policies, ranging from the executive orders. And literally, the American dream was at risk. I mean, the radicals in the Democrat Party are trying to tear down 250 years of what's provided all of us to be the freedoms that we enjoy. And yet, they don't understand that socialism hasn't worked anywhere. I mean, they try to say that it's going to be different this time, but there's no difference, because at the end of the day, it ends up being that the power that a country that has voted in socialist dictatorial government ultimately never gets the freedom back unless they do it at the point of a gun. And that's a situation and scenario that we don't want in the United States. So we're going to fight for our freedoms. We're going to fight for what the founders instilled for us. We're going to continue to fight.
You have been listening to State Representative Ron Estes, I'm sorry, U.S. Representative with the 4th District, Ron Estes, as he has been declared the winner in his primary. It looks like he will be challenged by the winner in the Democratic side of this race, Katie Tindell. So Ron Estes, Katie Tindell will be vying for going to Congress in the 4th Congressional District.
Than the Democrat that they're
There's
running
another race
against.
that I want to look at. If you want to take me back on camera, please, Isaac. What we're going to do here is, yes, I want to check the votes, if you will, please, in the constitutional amendment. The question here was whether or not we should be electing judges instead of appointing them. I think I need control, Isaac, to get a look at those numbers right here. As I come over here and find those numbers for you, kind of a resounding 68% right now is why this race has been called. 68% voting no. They want to keep, so the no vote means that they would like to keep the current method of selecting our Kansas Supreme Court justices as is. That means people apply, they are interviewed by a nominating commission. That commission can forward 1 to 3 names to the governor, and then the governor chooses from those finalists who would ultimately be serving on the Kansas Supreme Court. Folks saying 68% of the vote in right now, that they are going to go ahead and do that. I want to have some reaction for you right now from Michael with the ACLU, who's been advocating.
We don't want a complete overhaul of our Supreme Court. We want the court to remain fair and impartial, and not open the door for billionaire political donors to turn our justices into bought and paid for politicians who guarantee outcomes in advance. Hundreds of thousands of Kansans turn out to say that they want fair and impartial courts is gratifying. It is inspiring, and it reminds us that Kansas voters, not billionaire political donors and not extremists in the legislature, are the ones who ultimately have the power in this state.
There is your reaction right now. I'm going to keep coming a little bit here. I need to come and see if we can. We're going to take you back to the results page. We're going to scroll some more numbers, and we are hearing that Adam Hamilton might be about to speak. So sit tight, folks, as we try and get reaction from Adam Hamilton.
with 68.6% of the vote in for no and 31.4%.
And ask, what are they feeling? What are they longing for? What do they want in their next senator? What do they want in Washington, D.C.? And we heard so many of the same things. Nearly everybody talked about cost, the cost of living, how hard it is to pay for health care, groceries, how hard it is to pay for gasoline in their gas tanks to get to work, or housing. I met a woman in Hutchinson, Kansas, and she came to me after our gathering, just privately, and she said, listen, you know, our health insurance now, we no longer receive the subsidies, we make too much money to receive Medicaid, and not enough to, and too much to receive the subsidy. She said, our health insurance is now almost $3,000 a month. That's more than our house payment. And she said, Adam, we're going to cancel health insurance. We won't have it anymore. And she was my age. I'm 62, and I want you to imagine being 62 and canceling your health insurance because she can't afford it anymore. It's not just health care, though. Between the war in Iran, which many Republicans and most folks who are unaffiliated and almost all Democrats oppose, but between the war in Iran and the president's tariffs and the resulting inflation, the average American family is paying $200 a month more for the same things than they were paying a year ago. $200 a month. Now, for many of us, we can deal with that, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, where do you get the $200 a month? This is hurting real people in Kansas. Families are being left with the impossible choices as Washington really forces them, the policies, to pay more for less. Across the last year, as chaos, corruption, and executive orders, legislative plans, and bills that were passed were harming Kansas, I waited for Roger Marshall to speak up. I would have arguments with him in the shower. He wasn't in the shower with me, but I was having arguments with him. And I'm like, Roger, speak up. You were not hired by the president to be his personal spokesperson. You were hired by the people of Kansas to speak up for them, to stand up for them, and that's your job. But instead, it feels like he's been a yes man all the time. We don't need more yes men in Washington. We need a senator who will speak up for their people, one who listens, tells the truth, who has one guiding principle, and that is, what is best for the people of Kansas? Not what does the president want or my party want, but what is best for the people of Kansas. Now, thank you. I'll be honest, I'm not a politician. I never thought I would be a politician, especially not at 62. I didn't plan to run for office. I've spent my life as a pastor, and I try to care for people. I try to listen, to try to bring people together. I've tried to serve our community and encourage our people to go out and serve the community and help the community look the way it's supposed to look, to close the gap between the world as it is and the world as it's supposed to be. Now, communities do that, faith communities do that, and broader communities do that, but sometimes we need the government to help as well. The role of Washington is sometimes going to do the things that we as communities cannot do. But instead of making life easier for people in Kansas, Washington has made it harder for people in Kansas. For tens of thousands of Kansans who no longer afford health insurance. 36,000 Kansans since January of 2025 have lost their health insurance. Now that's a big deal. 10,000 children who no longer receive SNAP benefits. And SNAP benefits, you're not going to get rich on those, but at least it provides macaroni and cheese and applesauce for dinner at night. But 10,000 of our kids in Kansas have lost that under Roger Marshall's watch. When we talked to people, we heard from farmers and ranchers who said life is harder for us than it was before. Small business owners, large business owners, school teachers, adults who are caring for their aging parents, all of this. People saying life has gotten harder for many in Kansas. And over the last year, I kept thinking the same thing. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to do, I kept saying this, somebody's got to do something. Until January of this last year when Levon looked at me and said, maybe you're the somebody. Maybe you should do something. Now, I don't know about you, but many times I've looked at Washington and thought, this is wrong. This is not who we are. We simply have to do better. By the way, this isn't a Republican or Democrat thing. All of us, Republicans and Democrats, care about decency and humanity. There are many Republicans I meet who feel like, hey, things are wrong. They're not right tonight. Just before I got here, I talked to a woman in Hamilton, Kansas. Hamilton, Kansas, her son graduated from high school in a class of 4. And she said, he's a part of our congregation today, and she said, I want you to know I'm a Republican, but I'm with you. I support you. I'm excited about you. I tell everybody I know I'm voting for Adam Hamilton because he's a decent guy who wants to do the right thing in Washington, D.C. I care less about the party name than I care about the people and the character and their competency and what they're going to fight for when they get to Washington. So I think many of us are saying the same thing. We have to do better. As Americans, we're tired of the rhetoric. the erratic changes, the decisions hurting people, again, the chaos and corruption in Washington. And together, Democrats, Republicans, and independents can take back our country. I've described myself as an independent-minded Democrat. I'm standing in the center. And it's the extremes that seem to be trying to pull us apart, but I think there's far more of us who stand in the center saying, look, we've got to work together. Republicans and Democrats, independents, we can and should. We're called to care for each other. We're called to work together to help the world look better, look more like it's supposed to look. Now, the center that I'm talking about is not some mushy, milquetoasty center. It has backbone. People in the center, they tell the truth. They put people before their party. They put the country before politics. And we remember that government is supposed to work for the people, not us for them. And not just for some of the people, but for all of the people. Now I'm running against our sitting Senator Roger Marshall. Everywhere I go, I'm told he's not listening. People who voted for him have told me the same thing. Not again, not again. People ask me, I've had this asked many times, how can a senator who, when he's not in Washington, D.C., is in Florida, know what people need in Kansas? How does that work? And I think it's a good question. So here's what I know. On Roger Marshall's watch, thousands and thousands of people are doing worse rather than better. People lost their health insurance. Across the state of Kansas, we are the #1 state in the union in danger of closing the most number of rural hospitals. 28 rural hospitals in danger of closing. Why? Because we cut back Medicaid and we cut back health subsidies, which means that people still go to the doctor, they just can't afford to pay for it. And then the doctor and the nurse who are running that one little hospital there are saying, we can't afford to stay here anymore. I mean, we've got to do better than this for our people. All of this has happened on his watch. Now, when Kansans asked him about that and they said, hey, come on, Roger, tell us why you're doing these things, he ducked out of town halls and he decided not to have them anymore. So here's what I think. If Senator Marshall wants to spend more time in Florida, I think that's awesome. And I think that we should help him be able to do that by electing me. And you know what? I think that's going to be good for Roger Marshall, and it's going to be good for the people of Kansas, and it's going to be good for the United States. So we have to do better, and we will do better for Kansas children, for Kansas small business owners, for farmers, for ranchers, for everyday people in Kansas, for you and for me. By the way, I was in Holton, Kansas earlier this year, and when I was there, a man came up to me at the end of my talk, and he said, I just want you to know I'm a one-issue voter. And I kind of waited. I thought, okay. And he said, here's my one issue, and I will not vote for anybody who doesn't support this issue. I won't vote for anybody who doesn't believe that we are supposed to love our neighbors, we love ourselves. Now, loving your neighbor includes making sure that kids don't go to bed hungry at night. Loving your neighbor makes sure is sure to count on the people who are living in your midst, who are marginalized or made to feel small or belittled, are not belittled, and somebody stands up for them. Loving your neighbor means that you're making sure people don't have to choose between paying their house payment and making sure they can get health care. Loving your neighbor is all of that and so much more. All right, I want to wrap this up with a story I've been telling on the campaign trail, just an abbreviated version of it. So I had the joy of going to Liberal, Kansas several weeks ago. I'd never been there before. Some of you anybody been to Liberal? All right, it's a great place. So after my campaign talk to a group of people like this, I said, I want to see something unique in Liberal. And I said, what should I go see? And they said, go to the Wizard of Oz Museum. Now, Wamego has the Oz Museum, but Liberal has the Wizard of Oz Museum. And when I got there, there was inside one of the bigger museum, there was a TV, and it was playing a scene from the Wizard of Oz. There's Dorothy and Toto and her 3 trusty sidekicks. There is the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. And I was watching, and I thought to myself, okay, what did they need again? Well, the Scarecrow, he needed a brain, and the Tin Man, he needed a heart, and the Cowardly Lion needed courage. And I thought, wow, what a metaphor for Washington, D.C. right now. And it struck me that many in the Senate have lost their minds. They are no longer thinking for themselves, but asking only, what does my party or my president want me to do? But you've got to engage the intellect to be able to address critical issues of our time and think for yourself and not simply do what the party is asking you to do. We need senators who have not lost their heart. I mean, how do you vote for something in a bill that you know is going to leave Kansas kids hungry? How do you do that? Except for you're not thinking anymore about people. You've lost your heart. And then finally, we need moral and political courage in Washington, D.C. People who will do what the Senate and the House are meant to do, and that is be a check on executive power to be able to say, this is not okay with us, and we have to do better. And to do that, even if they know it means they won't get reelected. To be able to say, this is not right. We have to do better. So on election night, Tuesday, November 3rd, you're going to be watching the election results, and I believe the anchors at the national news stations are all going to be saying the same thing. Can you believe it? In 94 years, Kansas has now finally elected a Democrat to the United States Senate. And when they do, you're going to know I helped make that happen. I helped that happen. And that guy, he represents me. I'm a part of his team, and he's a part of my team. And I sent him there to stand up for what's right, to do what's true, to have compassion and mercy, bring people together instead of dividing people. We can do better, and we will do better. All right. So, before I close, I want to thank once more all of our volunteers who have tirelessly been on the telephones, put out signs, made buttons, helped in every possible way. Join me in thanking the volunteers. I want to once again thank our staff. We have an amazing staff, and there are 33 full-time staff. We are in this thing to win it, and they came from across the country. And these folks, some of them, I was in the car the other day with 3 of them. Combined, their age was less than my age. But you know what? They are amazing, whip-smart people, and they are giving their all. They're working 7 days a week. They're working late hours because they believe in our democracy and they want better. Thank the staff with me, if you would. I am so proud of them. I am grateful for my campaign manager, Mike Phillips. He's a great strategist, and he's been awesome. Where's Mike? I know he's somewhere around here. Mike is right over here. Mike, thank you so much for your leadership and all that you've done. This would not have happened without you. I want to thank our donors who've made this possible. We set records in donations in the history of Kansas. Nobody's raised this much in 3 months, and it's been awesome. Thank you, every one of you who sacrificed $25, $250, $2,500. Thank you to all of you. And finally, I want to thank my family and my friends who came alongside us, who've encouraged us, cried with us, prayed with us. I'm so grateful for them. And I want to thank my family, my mom, who's not here tonight, but who voted for me a couple of days ago. And I was so grateful that she got to see my name on the ballot, because were it not for her, I would not have been here. And I'm so literally, I mean, more than just the way you think. And I want to thank my dad, my siblings who are around. My siblings, raise your hands. They're over here. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you all. My children and my granddaughter, I want to thank them. They are the love of our lives, and they're the reason why we're running, is because we want a better America for my daughters and for my granddaughter. And then finally, once more, I want to thank Levon. I love you, Levon. Thank you so much. All right. So thank all of you for believing in this, for believing that we can do better. Thank you for getting behind me, supporting me, standing with me, championing this case, telling all of your friends, putting out your signs. I am so grateful. We are going to be a better nation because of you. And now I just want to say, let's go win this thing together. Thank you very much.
Watching the scene in Lenexa where Adam Hamilton just accepted his party's nomination, the presumed winner in the Senate, the primary among the Democrats for a U.S. Senate seat. There were 11 candidates on the ballot in this race. Adam Hamilton declared the presumed winner. 56% of the vote is in. He has 39% of that total, more than 48,000 votes, ahead of 13% for Christy Davis, Noah Taylor with 12%. But with 11 candidates on the ballot, dividing all of this up would be difficult for any of those candidates to make up that much ground. So it appears that what we will have is Adam Hamilton taking on the incumbent U.S. Senator Roger Marshall. He is declared the winner for his party's nomination over Pon Naramore, although Pon Naramore did get 23% of the vote, but Roger Marshall was 76% of the vote. Let's kind of dip in real quickly over here to the scene in Wichita, Kansas, where we are told they are waiting for Senator Marshall to take the stage shortly. Senator Marshall is looking for his second full term in the U.S. Senate. And as we go back and take a look here, folks, at the results again, Adam Hamilton being declared the winner in the Democratic side of that, Roger Marshall on the Republican side. As we go into the gubernatorial primary, we are still neck and neck between Cindy Holscher and Ethan Corson. However, and we are awaiting the comments from Roger Marshall, and they are going to let us know. Our crew in Wichita will let us know when he is taking the stage so that we can bring that to you. But as we continue going through some of these results here on our WIBW Plus Digital News Center in the Democratic primary for governor, Cindy Holscher, Ethan Corson have been running neck and neck all night. Cindy Holscher is starting to pull ahead just a little bit, but again, take a look. We still have 48% of the votes left to come in here. So depending where those votes are outstanding, we could be taking a look at a long night as they wait for those numbers. The Republican side of this primary, though, 7 candidates seeking the Republican nomination. Ty Masterson declared the winner. 40% of the vote is in, but he has 41% of that total. Sticking with 41% of that total, as you saw, it just updated to nearly 42% of the vote being in. But next closest to him, Philip Sarnicki with 21%. So we were going to continue scrolling through now some of these results for you, so you continue looking at the numbers here on WIBW Plus, our digital news platforms. And when we have more candidate reaction, we will be back in the Digital News Center with you. Welcome back into the WIBW Digital News Center, where we are following the results and keeping an eye on the situation on the watch party in Wichita. Several people are in Wichita watching these results come in. Among them are Senator Roger Marshall and candidate for governor declared the winner, Ty Masterson. As we take a look at what's happening right now, we're preparing to hear from more of the candidates in Wichita. This is Denidre Herbert. She is chairperson of the Kansas Republican Party. Let's hear what she has to say.
But he won handily. He is our U.S. Senate nominee, and we expect him to go back to Washington to continue fighting for us. It's my great privilege to introduce to you U.S. Senator Roger Marshall. Talk to his friends.
Denidre Herbert introducing Roger Marshall, who has been declared successful in the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate seat. He is going for his second term. Senator Marshall served in the U.S. House for 2 terms before that.
Hello, Kansas! What a great night this is. And this night belongs to Ty and Marlo Masterson. How about Ty? And I say it's a great night for Kansas because Ty is going to deliver for Kansas. He's going to bring back prosperity and security for all Kansans. He's going to make your family safe. He's going to bring down the cost of living. And most importantly, he's going to protect our Kansas values. So I'm so excited to have, I feel like it's like we're running mates here. Masterson and Marshall running here, fighting off the Democrat Socialist Party, the big government Democrat Socialist Party of America. So it's exciting to be up here with him tonight and to celebrate, and a big congratulations to all of his team members. Hundreds of people gathered here today, but hundreds, thousands of volunteers that went up there, worked your tail off, and won this primary. Look, we know that primaries feel like a family fight, that it feels like, it's this Republican on Republican violence. So it's time to put that behind us. Congratulations to all the other Republican candidates that were out there working so hard as well. But tonight at midnight, we're going to strike the clock and move on and take on the Democrat Socialist Party. So again, nothing but a big congratulations to Ty and Marlo. We're so proud of you. We love you both, and we look forward to your leadership for the great state of Kansas. So now I get the honor of introducing your next speaker tonight, all the way from the great county of Leavenworth County, a good friend of all ours, your next Lieutenant Governor, Jeff Klemp. Jeff, come on up here. Congratulations, Shannon. Thank you. You're welcome.
You know what? This is a good night. And thank you to the senator for all of his kind words. And I would tell you I agree with our ability to where we sit today in this race, how it played out. And I think Kansas sent a very decisive message tonight. And I think it was needed for where we need to go because we have to win in November. And I would tell you, whether it's from the first city of Kansas to Goodland, where you have a new time zone, I think we've spent all of this time throughout the entire state with wonderful volunteers that have made us successful. Without the volunteers, without the folks in this room, without the folks that are voting, that came in and early voted, which sent a very clear message early, we ended up in a very wonderful spot tonight. And I'll tell you, I sit in the Senate with Ty, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm so blessed to be a part of what I was experienced in the Senate with his ability to coalesce a caucus, to lead, and I'm so glad he has a larger sword to run through November, through the tape in November, so we can lead Kansas to a prosperous future. And I'm looking for him, because you don't need to hear from Lieutenant Governor that much. So I would like to introduce the next governor of Kansas, Ty Masterson.
You know what? This night belongs to you guys. That is what this is all about. Thank you to Kansas. By the way, we won so fast I wasn't even ready for the speech. This is too cool. So I'm a little still taken aback by it, right? I was like, oh, okay, Lord, just if we can know by the end of the night, right? And it's like, it's 8 o'clock, it's done. It's like, wait, what? So, and by the way, a little bit of the delay, I apologize for that. I actually have now received calls from all the other candidates, well, all the other major candidates. And yeah, it's good. So I brought my iPad up here so I don't forget something, because the thank yous are so important, because this has never been about one person. So my first thank you is to my amazing wife, Marlo. I've been saying this around the trail. You guys have no idea how much she deserves that applause. Because it's just, she's put up with me for 32 years, right? And we have, and our 6 amazing children and our grandchildren. And so it's just, God has blessed me in a way. I feel like I'm batting 1,000. All my kids are here, raising their families in Kansas. And it's just, they love Jesus and they work hard. Not just like going, man, thank God for this state. So that's my second thank you. Honestly, it's to my kids. Yeah, we have 6 adult children, and they are just amazing individuals. And it is hard to put up with some of the garbage that rolls through politics, right? I mean, it's just so special. Thank you. A couple of them, we went through. We had an incident where the trans crowd got some of their cell phone numbers, right? And we're just sending nasty, vile stuff. And 2 of them, God bless them, they answered, said, that's not my dad at all. I've been praying for you. You need Jesus. Right? So I was like, don't answer that. I mean, that's going to confirm that they have the right number. So don't do that. But they got this. So my kids, because you don't wish your struggles on your children, right? I mean, that is and I know I chose to step in that arena and fight for my kids, but my kids didn't choose to fight. So I'm just so thankful to them and what they've chosen to do, and proud of what they're doing, raising my grandkids. Extra special thank you to my mother. Where is Mom? She's here somewhere. There's my mom. I'd let that go on forever. She deserves it. It is, she not only put up with me and my brothers, right? So 4 boys, and she ruled that house. But it was the strongest woman I've ever met. Second one right here. So,
good cover.
No, hey, wasn't even covered. It was like, yeah, it was just, the way she raised her and my dad. I wish my dad could see this. He was just such an amazing example of a steady plodder, worked hard, taught us to love Jesus and work, and she was right there beside him. And she's been sending me verses every day and encouragement, right? Going through this fight, and especially this last week where, your opponents dump $1 million on your head to say negative things. And although I did her verses more recently, it's been fun. It's been from Psalms like David, like smite my enemy and humiliate them. I'm like, I love you, Mom. I'm still a little boy, right? She's taking care of me. So that's the family. Then I'll get to so another big thank you to this gentleman right here, Jeff Klemp. Yes. Well, yes. You guys don't know what you're getting here. I mean, this truly is a 2-for-1 special. This is, you guys, this is 2 workhorses. I've never been afraid to hitch my wagon to somebody that's stronger, faster, better, smarter than me, right? Because I want to go too. Let's do this. And this is this guy. This 5th generation Kansas businessman, family man. He's got everything it takes to help us move day one. And that's the whole goal, right? We don't want just to hold a title. We want to change things. We want to make things better in this state. So thank you to Jeff Klemp and to Joni for putting up with it too, right? To letting you do that. I should probably thank my campaign team. They worked hard. Like every day. It was just every day. doing something, and thank you for doing it the right way. We did, by the way, I know lots of negative garbage goes out. From the campaign, we did do nothing negative. I mean, there were some supportive PACs and things that were out there and so that's the challenge. Right? There's always outside entities that want to be helpful, and you're so grateful they're there and they put resource behind you. But we've got to come together in this state. So they ran it the right way, and I think you see the fruits of that, right? Because there's so many negative things that went, but the win with the margins we won against that, I think that is a tribute to our campaign team. I can't go without thanking President Trump. He's so fun, right? Thank him for his friendship and his support and his endorsement. On that call the other day, he said, "We love each other." I thought that was awesome. I love you, man. This caught me off guard a little bit. But it was, he loves this country. He loves this country. I was just, when I got to first meet him in the Oval last year, it was just like, "Hey, do you want to see the Declaration of Independence?" Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to see that. Because he just was so excited to show us, what he just loves this country in a way that I think he's one of those guys that, occasionally God raises somebody up that kind of becomes bigger than themselves, right, and does more than a single human can do. And I think he's that guy. And I also want to thank Roger Marshall. He's a champion. He has been a champion for Kansas. He's been a great friend of the president, which was helpful in our communication and the things he's been able to do for us. So as we move into this next battle, get out there and be part of this guy's team, and let's get across the line with him, because I shudder to think we get a Democrat senator in this state. That party has lost their minds. So, so anyway, get out here, because Roger's been tremendous. So honored to call him friend and have his endorsement. And everyone who supported another candidate, right? I don't know there's too many in this room, but for those that may be watching from somewhere else, those that did, this is a team sport. And so I understand, right? I thank you for being part of the process, and being just out there and active. I related to growing up with four brothers. This is what I related to, right? It's a family fight. We would get in some knockdown, drag-outs, me and my brothers, right? You just, particularly my older one, he's here tonight, Jeff, he's back there somewhere. He's like, yeah, here he is, he's that guy. Is he littler than you?
He's my older brother by about 18 months or so, but I was a little fat kid, so I was the big kid, and he was, so we'd go at times, and we would just, till he hit puberty, then he kicked my rear end, so, anyway, that's what I related to, right? We might have a disagreement and a fight, but it was in the family. The very next day, if somebody came against the family, we were going to win. We were going to join together and win. And that happened more than once, like in reality, where we might be fighting one day and the next day we're fighting for us, right? We can have a disagreement, but we would die for each other. And then that's what I'm asking. Those that supported another Republican candidate, we need to come together, because the real opposition is the Democrats. They literally have lost their minds. This party of open borders and mail-in elections and fraud and high energy prices, and it's like, and you can't have anything else but high cost of energy with them, because they worship climate change, right? So we have to come together to change the face of Kansas moving forward. Really, the stakes haven't been higher because of where we're at now with the current party. There used to be reasonable, even pro-Second Amendment, even some pro-life Democrats. My grandmother was one. Most of her life was a Democrat. By the time she passed away, though, she told me if she ever caught me voting for one, she'd bend me over her knee. I mean, it was just because it was like, so her big line was, you kind of hear, she goes, I didn't leave them, they left me. Right? The things have changed, and that's where we're at. And by the way, it looks like Senator Holscher is going to win the race tonight on the Democrat side. Woo-wee. This, you guys don't understand. Laura Kelly called her an extremist. I mean, this
This is, you want to get to a whole new level, right? I mean, that was the best marketing campaign I've ever seen. Laura Kelly, middle of the road, because she wasn't in the middle of the road. I mean, she was kind of bumping up against the fence in the left ditch, but it was like, and she called Cindy extreme. So this is, I mean, really, you get Cindy Holscher, you get higher taxes, you get continued decline in schools, you get boys competing in women's sports, you get men in women's bathrooms, right? You get a higher cost of everything. So this is important for us to unite. So for those of you out there that supported another candidate, I'm just asking you to join us and be part of this fight, because it is real, and it's across the nation. And so thank you. Please come join us. The message was clear from Kansas tonight. They want lower taxes, safe communities. Right? They want opportunities for our children. Because that's how we keep people here. We have to have opportunity. I am incredibly blessed that all 6 of my kids are choosing to raise their families in Kansas. It is. Thank you for that. And I say all the time across the trail, that is why I ever engaged in politics. Because I'm so conscious of the fact that my clock's timing out. But I've got little clocks starting that I so deeply care about that I have to make Kansas a better place to live, work, and raise a family. And that's for your kids too, right, and your grandkids. So the goal, we're going to make Kansas the best managed state in the country. We're going to be leaders in agriculture and energy and business. And we're going to go after affordability. Nobody should be taxed out of their house or off their farm or out of their business. And we're going after all of that. And we need affordability. We need young mothers not worrying about grocery and gas prices. Small business worried about making payroll. But that is, I mean, we need to make sure that Kansas is the model in the nation. And we've been in a very adverse position with the federal government, with the Trump administration, right? As President Trump, I think he wakes up every day trying to put more money in your pocket and make us a safer nation. And, you know, he's out there, he wants investment in America. He wants things made in America. It's one thing we hit it off on. I want that investment in Kansas. I want things made in Kansas. I want opportunities for all our children, because that's what keeps them here. And that's what changes the face of this state. So I just can't thank you guys enough for being part of this race. And we'll continue. I mean, really, we celebrate today, but the battle starts again tomorrow. Tomorrow, the real battle starts. And we got about a 90-day run to the end of this to bring this home for Kansas. And it takes all of us. It isn't about one person, never been about one person. Together, we leave a better Kansas for our children than we have. Together, we make this state stronger. Together, we make Kansas, together, Kansas will see its piece of American greatness that we are experiencing in America today. So God bless you all. Thank you for coming out. God bless the great state of Kansas.
All right, what you are looking at right now, everybody, in one side you have the stage in Wichita, where you have Senator Roger Marshall, the presumed Republican gubernatorial nominee Ty Masterson, and his wife, the current congressional representative for District 4, Ron Estes, who just won his primary, his wife, Susan. And then on the right side of your screen is the running mate for Cindy Holscher, because while Ty Masterson was speaking, and as you heard there kind of at the end, you had Ty Masterson already kind of taking aim at Cindy Holscher as the nominee, because look at this. As we were there, we had this going on. Cindy Holscher pulling ahead as more numbers came in. And I'm trying to take this down, folks, so that it doesn't overwhelm us all here. What we have there is the running mate for Cindy Holscher speaking right now. So Cindy Holscher pulling ahead now and being declared the winner of the Democratic gubernatorial primary. And so here is more from the scene right now in Lenexa, where Cindy Holscher is gathering with her supporters.
Throughout this campaign, we're going to do something with respect to property taxes as well. And that's by us sticking with the Democratic agenda. Yeah. And I cannot be so honored tonight to stand before you to be the Lieutenant Governor nominee as well. It will be my honor and my job to make sure that I stand shoulder to shoulder with your next governor, Cindy Holscher. So I know we've been here all evening, and the night has been fantastic. But it's my honor to bring up to the stage our next governor from Johnson County, the one and only Cindy Holscher.
Wow, how about those numbers? And how about defeating that amendment? Thank you. I am so very honored to be here. I'm just, boy, taking it all in, all of these beautiful faces, all the work we've done for the past several months. My parents are right there. My grade school teacher. I didn't start this out the way I was supposed to, but like I said, it's just a lot to take it. Good evening, everyone. I'm Senator Cindy Holscher, and tonight I am honored to stand before you as your Democrat nominee for Governor of takes a lot to step forward. These are the worst of times to run for office, but there's never been a time when we need great candidates more. So I just always honor and thank those who step forward to run for any office, because these are tough times. It takes a lot. So for the other candidates in this primary, I say thank you for your commitment to our state, for your willingness to run and your willingness to serve. Our party is stronger because of the debates we had, and I look forward to working right alongside them in the months ahead, starting tomorrow morning. Because I'm from the farm and I'm the daughter of a Marine, we don't take much time off, do we? There's work to do. And the truth is this: we need every single one of us in this state to come together. Kansans from every part of the state, Democrats obviously, but we're going to need Republicans and independents too. We're going to need everyone who understands how high the stakes are and how important it is to win in November. And let's talk about those stakes. Over a year ago, I looked around, I saw the writing on the wall. I knew Ty Masterson would likely lead the Republicans and get the nomination. It's okay to say, I heard somebody say yuck. I mean, And after 10 years in the House and Senate, I knew what would happen if he did. Because Ty Masterson as governor would drag us back into the Brownback years. And even further. It would be politics as usual with a side of MAGA extremism. He'd weaken our schools. He'd hand out our tax dollars to special interests. He'd fight to make abortion illegal and block Medicaid expansion and try to push our only Democratic Congress member out of office. We know he'd do these things because we've seen his agenda as Senate president and the things he's already done. And now he's got Donald Trump behind him and the whole MAGA apparatus lined up behind him. To peek under Masterson would leave the regular people even further behind. And regular people deserve far better than that. Regular people deserve someone who will put them first and fight for them every single day they're in office. And I know a thing or two about regular people, because I grew up on a farm. My grandparents were tenant farmers, the poorest of the poor. My dad was a construction worker for 37 years and a union member. My mom worked at the school that I attended, drove the school bus, and did maintenance. I come from a family of veterans. My oldest brother served in the Army. My dad was a Marine, and nearly all of my uncles and cousins served. My parents worked hard to give me a better life, and thanks to them, I became a first-generation college graduate. And like I mentioned, they're here tonight. Please, round of applause. My husband and I came here to Kansas more than 25 years ago because we believed in the promise of this state. We settled here, we raised our 3 incredible children here, and put down our roots. But by the time our kids got into public school, the Brownback experiment was in full swing. Governor Brownback was gutting our public services to pay for the tax cuts for the wealthy. And one day, Sarah and I were shopping at Target, and we saw one of her teachers there working. A teacher working a second job on the weekend. And when I explained to Sarah what was going on, why her teacher was working on the weekend at Target after being all week at school, Sarah looked at me and she said, "That's wrong. You go fix that. So if you all like me and you like what I'm doing, thanks, Sarah. So that's how I got started in politics. I ran for the state house, the legislature in 2016 because my own representative at the time was leading the charge to defund our schools. I didn't know if I could win, but I did it. And I served 2 terms in the House and then crossed over to the Senate. And when I got to Topeka, I co-founded the Women's Bipartisan Caucus. With my friend across the aisle, Representative Stephanie Clayton, who was a Republican at the time. We worked together, Republicans and Democrats. We rolled up our sleeves and we got it done. And we put together the bill that ended the Brownback experiment and got this state back on track. I have a history of fighting for results for regular people, and that's what we're going to have to do now more than ever. I've proven that I know how to win these fights and move Kansas forward. And I am proud to say I ran on that record all year and tonight, and with the help of so many of you, we won! Now, I'm not going to lie to you. These next few months, they're going to be hard. We're going to be up against the Koch network, right? Dark money. We're going to be up against PACs, corporate special interests, billionaires, and donors who think they can buy a victory in November. Donald Trump's MAGA funders are going to pour everything they have into getting Ty Masterson elected and dragging Kansas backward. We are going to fight to make sure that does not happen. And when I say we are going to have to fight, I mean all kinds of people. If you voted for me, we need you. Yes. If you voted for Ethan Corson, we need you. Yes. If you voted for Kurt Scoop, we need you. And here's the thing, if you voted for Scott Schwab or Vicki Schmidt, we need you. And if you didn't vote, we really need you. This is everybody's fight. It's a fight for our state, for our schools, for our rights, and for our democracy. I'm ready for it. Are you? Because the choice in November is about what kind of Kansas we want to live in. Do we want our schools to give our kids their best shot? Yeah. Or are we going to look at a future where kids are left behind? No. Not my kids. Do we want health insurance and health care? Yeah. Or do we want to see more rural hospitals close under Masterson? No. Do we want a Kansas where people can afford a home and get ahead? Yes. Or do we want to see the continuation of things getting worse and people can't afford things? No. Do we want a Kansas that invests in working families or one that gives tax breaks to people who don't need them while the rest of us struggle? No. I know what kind of Kansas I want. As your governor, I'm going to fight every day to make life here more affordable. We're going to fully fund our public schools, general education, and special We're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. And we will finally expand Medicaid and make health care more affordable. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or an independent. Our government should have your back, and we should look out after each other. Because that's what Kansans do. We take care of each other, and we look out for our neighbors. But if we're going to do it, we have to win again in 3 months. So it is time we come together. Now, I know that sometimes families and friends disagree about politics. Sometimes feelings run a little hot, especially about things that matter, and this election really does matter. We all want to make sure we're doing the right thing for Kansas, but we don't always agree on exactly what that is. So I ask you, give grace to your friends and neighbors. Their hearts are often in the right place. Maybe they chose a different side in this primary, but the primary ended tonight. And now we move forward. So please take tonight, maybe a little bit of tomorrow to get some rest. Not too much though. And then join me, because we're going to need every single one of us to win this race. And by God, we are going to flip some House seats, aren't we? Now, before I close, I want to take a moment to thank the people who made this possible. If you volunteered, knocked doors, made phone calls, wrote postcards, talked to a friend or a neighbor about this election, raise your hand. To my husband of 33 years, Greg. Yeah, that's him. He does exist. I know a lot of you haven't seen him. He does exist. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for being on this journey. I wouldn't be here without you. To our 3 kids, Sarah, Maddie, and Adam. While Sarah got me into this, has knocked thousands of doors with me. Maddie's our TikTok girl. Adam's our sign guy, and he gives nice hugs when I'm feeling down. To my parents, thank you for your unconditional love, for your sacrifices, and for showing me what grit and determination can do. Thank you for telling me for as long as I can remember that I could become anything I want in this world. Even when that wasn't a real popular opinion for girls. To my brothers, one of whom is here, Rick. And my brother Glenn, thank you for picking on me every single day growing up. You helped me to develop the really thick skin I needed to be in this. To my teachers, Mrs. Simmons is here. Thank you so much for pouring so much into me as a student, for motivating me and inspiring me to believe that I can make a difference. Thank you. To Governor John Carlin and former Lieutenant Governor Lynn Rogers, thank you for being with me from day one. To Linda, Susan, Heather, Brooklyn, Alexis. Dan, Jared, Lewis, Val, Jeff, Jason, and oh my God, somebody's name I can't read because I have really bad handwriting. Yes! Thank you. To my campaign team, Renee, Pete, Latoya, Shabina, Heather, TJ, Lucy, Brett, Riley, Gavin, Daniel, Ashley, Maddie, and every single volunteer. And George! You put in the work, you knocked the doors, you made the calls, you reached out to people, and you believed in this victory and that it could happen. So tonight is your victory too. Yeah. I'm absolutely humbled that so many of you put your trust in me. Thank you for your confidence, your votes, and your hard work to get here. And I make this pledge to you. I will continue to fight for the people of this state with everything I have. And no matter what party you belong to or who you voted for, I hope you agree with me that Kansas is worth the fight. Are you ready to win in November? Thank you all. God bless you. Good night, Kansas. And let's do this. Let's get it done in November.
All right, you have been listening to State Senator Cindy Holscher, who has just claimed the Democratic nomination for governor with her running mate there, Wichita Representative Casey Usher. And as we take you on the other side of the box, speaking now is fellow state senator Ethan Corson, and he has been reacting to his defeat. The total here, 48% for Cindy Holscher, 39% for Ethan Corson. Let's head on over to Ethan Corson for just a short time.
And I just could not have asked for a better partner in this journey with me. I will forever be grateful to Renee and her family for stepping up to do this. This is not an easy thing to do, especially on short notice. And Renee is just so passionate about our communities, about our children, about our state. My hope now is that I can support her in whatever she decides to do next, because I really believe that Renee is going to be a big part of the future of the Kansas Democratic Party. And I'm really excited to see what comes next for her, because she's an incredibly talented, caring, thoughtful person, and I want to support her in whatever it is she decides to do, because our state is better off because people like Renee step up to the plate to be in public service. So I will stop there. Again, I'm just so appreciative. Thank you all for everything. Go home, get some rest, but thank you for everything. It means so much to me.
folks, that is going to do our pre-coverage here from the WIBW Digital News Center. As you've been watching the candidates, Cindy Holscher winning the Democratic gubernatorial nomination over Ethan Corson. On the Republican side, it will be Ty Masterson. The U.S. Senate nomination for the Democrats, Adam Hamilton. Roger Marshall getting his win as he tries to bid for a second term. We are going to take it back to the results for now. Keep scrolling through everything here as we are going to be preparing for 13 News at 10, 9 minutes away. Complete coverage from all of the candidate watch parties.